Yeah, it's too much flavor. That's a con. What's going on, nation? Vape here, and welcome! One more collaboration between Mr. Just Right and Wotofo, the Profile 1.5 RDA. Oh yes! Even though I think this is not a V1.5, this is a V2, a V2.5. This thing has so many changes, and all the changes make even the first one look almost obsolete. And let me tell you something, the first one is definitely the best mesh RDA that you can buy. You can't buy better than that for flavor, airflow, all that good stuff. So when he actually announced the V1.5, I say, what the hell he can improve to make that one better than it is at the moment? Well, he done it. He done a few changes, quite a lot of changes that make this RDA way better than the first one. How that happened, I don't know. I know he put a lot of effort onto this. This one is slightly bigger, you know. It's still 24 mm diameter, but he had, the other one had an aluminium chamber, very, very thick. So the deck was like a 20 or 21 mm deck. This one, it goes to the edge, so it's probably a 23 or nearly a 24. It is very, very good RDA. But obviously we go to all of that on the up and close. So what we're gonna do now, and also a very nice drip tip, to be honest, kind of low profile, very, very nice drip tip in there. And here is your main event, the Profile 1.5. So this one, it is extremely different from the first one, and we have a small comparison in a second. So on the bottom is going to be 24 mm diameter, and this time the deck is going to be really wide, not like the other one that was extremely small. You're going to have Wotofo Profile, Mr. Just Right logo there. It does come pre-installed with your squonk pin. Okay, and it protrudes more than enough if you want to use it in a hybrid mechanical mode when you swap to the normal one, obviously. Here's going to be your negative post if you want to take it apart. You know, to clean it, you're going to have a very nice 810 drip tip, so gun style, all your 810 fit here, no issues, and you get that beautiful one as well inside the packaging. And before we open up, here is the original one, so the first version, and this one is primarily made of stainless steel. This one, the top cap was actually aluminium, very, very light, and you can see straight away right at the bottom how big it is, this big deck. Okay, and look at the difference for the V1.5. So you're gonna have a bigger build deck. The airflow is gonna be different, as you can see. The logo is also different. This one looks better engraved, more visible. The barrel itself is also very, very different. So it has a lot of differences. Now when we come to the inside, let's open this up. Okay, so the top cap, as you can see here, will come apart. Here we go, like this. So it is a two-piece, even though when it's together, it looks like a full piece, but it's not. It is two-piece, and obviously you're gonna be able to adjust your airflow when you turn this top. That is not very easy when it's fully attached there. So you can kind of close it, as you can see, 2 by 2, and if you keep going, it's gonna start to close just the top. Hole by hole, keep going. Now it's gonna close the bottom, as you can see, hole by hole. And that's it, and you keep turning, now it's gonna start to open the bottom again. Actually, both of them. So you only have the option to run the top close, the bottom always open, of both of them. You're not gonna have the option to run just the bottom and the top close. But pretty easy to do, very easy to adjust when it's actually in the mod, and very, very good machining. No issues. You're gonna have those 2 grooves on each side that obviously is gonna lock on your deck to align perfectly that airflow. And here is the deck, obviously the grooves that are gonna align with those ones there to lock perfectly in here. Here is the mesh that I've been using. Now the mesh completely different again compared to the first one. So this is the V1.5. This one is the first version. I've been using it. I love this RDA. As you can see, bigger clamps, bigger deck, everything is bigger. Alright, and sometimes bigger doesn't mean that it's better, but this one, yes, it is definitely better, even though the first one is just amazing. So, let's remove the mesh. So clamp system here is very, very simple, just unscrew. Very, very nice screws. All the machining is very, very good, to be honest. Here we go. And here is the mesh. Now the mesh this time, it's kind of harder, okay? You know, it's kind of a bit more. The other one is very, very thin, very easy to bend and do those really spike corner and really messed up with your mesh. This one is way, way better. It feels a bit rougher as well. Looks very, very good. I think it's easy to actually run this one than the first one. And the deck. Now, difference on the deck apart from being bigger is also the spring load ceramic on the center that it was on the first one, but the first one was completely flat. This one got like waves on it. Can you see that? Now let me tell you something. Those waves make a massive, massive difference in squonk mode. While on the other one, when you're squonking, most of the squonk obviously will come to the sides, because even though it comes from here, it was not able to push through the mesh. This one, due to those grooves, all the squonking actually come under the cotton. That is a very, very big improvement for the squonking mechanism. I really, really love it. Now, this is not spring loaded, those clamps, okay? They just, you know, just there. When you unscrew, open them up and put the mesh. And the mesh itself, like I showed you about a second ago, it is definitely different. Like I said, the one I was using is probably the most different of them all. This one looks more like the other one, but it is bigger. So you're gonna have a bigger surface to actually have more flavor, more juice, more contact. So it's pretty damn good. So today I'm gonna choose, you know what, let's go to this one. Let's go to the 0.15, you know, installing in there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you how to bend it around the tool that they provide you. And we go from there. So grab your mesh, grab the tool that they provide. This one is actually from the first one. The tools are exactly the same. And you want to bend it very, very slowly, okay? You don't want to do any sharp edges, you know, any spikes in there. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of hot spots. Here we go. You see? Like that. Just hold it there. Now that you have this done, drop it down to your deck, like so. So it is dropped down there. Just hold it very slightly. Don't do any pressure in there. Kind of tie up one side. You don't really have to crank it up. Just hold it there. Same thing on the other side. Okay, now that it's cranked up, this one is actually perfect. But if you need to use the other part, okay, and just go there very slowly, very gently, and make sure it's nice and round. This one is nice and round. To be honest, those meshes are a bit stronger than the other ones. Now, what you want to do here is put the power pretty down. You don't want to pulse it very, very high, otherwise you're going to mess up with your mesh. And give it light pulses, okay, just to burn those oils off your hands that you'll be touching it. Here we go. As you can see, it's glowing from the inside out. No issues there. All looks good. No hot spots. Very nice. It is ready to go. So let's throw the cotton here now. So if you don't want to use the inglets, or if you don't want to buy inglets just for your profiles and you buy those squares or even cotton bacon, I don't know. What I do is I pick up a full square, okay, even though it's probably a bit too much cotton, but anyway, I pick up a full square, remove the outsides. Here we go. Now you can kind of break it down in the middle, and while you're doing that, try to make a ball of it, you know, something a bit like this, and it's gonna be practically your inglet. Okay, so even if you have cotton bacon, try to grab a piece like that, you know, try to make it rounder. As soon as you think you have it, just grab one of the sides and start pushing there. And obviously the ceramic in the middle is spring loaded, so you will go down, don't worry. If you think it's kind of gonna mess up your mesh, pull it back and, you know, try it from a different angle. Here we go. See, all the cotton in there is very nice and compressed against that mesh, as you can see. So now we can start to comb this out. So start to comb it. Remove as much as you need, you know, just make sure you have enough to put inside the juice well. There we go. Look at that. Alright, and now start to cut obviously your excess. So straight away I'm gonna cut what I think I'm not gonna need. It's gonna be too long. Okay, and I know that a lot of other reviewers said to cut in an angle like that. Now, to be honest, on this one is not really necessary, because it really wicks properly. It wicks better than the first profile, obviously wicks way better than the profile RTA, even though you can cut a little bit if you don't have too much cotton. But let's say you have less cotton than I have here, you don't really need to cut in an angle. Trust me, you will wick perfectly. So what you want to have is around what I have on this side. I think even this side got a bit too much, so let's cut it there. Here we go. Perfect. Here we go. That is perfect. Okay. Now obviously when it's juiced up you always can rearrange. That's it. It's no angle cuts if you don't have to. It's not a lot of learning curve to wick this one. And the thing is because this deck, even though the first one works great, I think the improvements they done on this deck makes it way more easy to wick it and vape it without any dry hits. Let's juice it up. Today I'm gonna use some of this Rda vapes that I didn't review here in the channel. Even though it's 50-50, I would prefer to use like a 70-30 or 60-40 in here, but this one is 50-50, not an issue. And there's the orange A's, tastes wonderful. So start to put some drops on the top. Now in the beginning it's gonna be, because there's a lot of cotton compressed there, it's gonna be kind of hard for him to absorb. Then do it small pulses. You don't want to burn your cotton, just to absorb what is in here. Here we go. That's it. I think we have a good start. Let me put a squonk bottle in here. Okay, so let's have a look at the squonk action. Can you see that? Straight away in the middle in that mesh. Very, very good. That's why I said this deck is very nicely improved. Okay, so the top cap is attached. Adjust your airflow and you're ready to go. So we're gonna come back on top, tell you where you can get it, price, and we run to pros and cons. Alright, and we're back, and that was the up and close for the Profile V1.5 by Wotofo and Mr. Just Right. So where you can get it and price, Cigabyte.com. I will leave a link on the description for £17. £17. I think you even can't find the first Profile at this price here in the UK. This one, yes, £17 of pure perfection, to be honest. So let's go to pros and cons. Wow, it's very hard because this is a very good one. One con, I wish it had kept the first airflow, because you had, I will say, a little bit more airflow and a little bit more options there. Here, because of the configuration of the airflow, you can't run just the top and have the close just on the bottom. You can kind of close both of them and then close the top and leave the bottom open. That is actually how I'm running at the moment. So top close and bottom open. But I wish it had kept the first airflow, because like he said, this is a V1.5. The changes should be very, very light, even though they are massive, but in a good way. So when you compare like I reviewed the Dead Rabbit V2, if you didn't saw the review, I gotta post a link right there, that I really criticize Ethan to name it a V2, because it was no changes at all. That it should be at least a V1.5, even though I think it was a V1.1. It was no massive changes, and even the changes that he said that were improvements were not. This is not V1.5, this is a V2 at least. This thing is a beast. Now, if you're in love with the first one and you're looking for upgrade, this is probably the first time I'm gonna say yes, it worth the upgrade, definitely. So pros, construction, all the machining looks perfect. I like that I changed the barrel from aluminium to stainless steel. Looks a bit more solid. I also like that he enlarged the deck. That is a very, very big pro, because you're gonna have bigger mesh with more contact. That means more flavor, more vapor. He also improved the mesh itself. It's completely different mesh. I think it's a bit harder, this one. Easy to, to bend it and not have those spikes and mess up with it. So I love the mesh. 2 drip tips, the extras that include, amazing. That's a lot of extras, 2 drip tip, 810 drip tips. One is slightly low profile, looks very, very good in here as well. Includes 3 stripes of mesh. I think the only one, I'm pretty sure there are 4 kind of mesh now, but at the moment of the release, it include all the meshes available for this one. Now keep in mind that far as I know, the first mesh is not compatible with this one, or at least this one is not compatible with the old one. And I understand why. Some people are gonna say, oh, so it's not cross compatible, so what am I gonna do with all my other mesh? Keep vaping on the other one, because the other one is also very good. Do like me, have both of them. But I understand why. Because you went for a bigger deck, a bigger mesh, so you're gonna have more flavor, more surface, a stronger mesh. I get it. I will not point that as a con. One of the biggest improvements that I think, even though you're probably not gonna realize, it is that ceramic plate in the middle with those, those waves going on in there. What that's gonna allow is juice to travel under those grooves and really come under in the center of your cotton. While the other one, if you had, and you need to have that cotton compressed there in the middle to make sure it makes all the contact with the mesh, so you don't have hot spots or dry hits. Sometimes it was so compressed that the liquid forced himself on the sides. This one, straight away in the middle. Doesn't matter. I put a lot of cotton in here, and doesn't matter how much cotton you're gonna put in there, the juice always gonna come through the middle, making sure that those dry hits, or not having enough juice there, maybe even have a hot spot, is not gonna happen. The chances to happen is gonna be very, very slim. So everything was improving here. Everything. I really, really have to give a very good shout out to Mr. Just Right. This was a lot of work that I put into this. It just didn't done like Ethan. Oh, I'm gonna change that and honeycomb airflow. Yeah, that's a V2. No, you definitely put a lot of effort in here, and that's what you want. And the price is still pretty damn good. So, vapor production and flavor. So at the moment I have the 0.15, and it is reading 0.15, 45 watts. We're gonna start low. Top airflow closed, the bottom one wide open. Let's have it. Now, I'm not gonna be squonking, because if you think, oh, you have to keep squonking to not have dry hits, no. And let me tell you something, you kind of realize, unless you're vaping 60, 70, 80 watts, if you're vaping between, like me, between 40, 50, 60, you're gonna realize that it's getting dry without getting the dry hits. So, you saw the vapor production and the flavor on this is like drinking the bottle of juice. I am not kidding. You can't get best flavor than that. I can't believe you can't get best flavor than that. This thing is just unbelievable. Pick up the juice bottle, drink it. It is the same thing. Whoa, the first one in flavor was already pretty damn good. This one is just, it's just ridiculous. It's so much flavor. So let's jump up straight away. 55 watts. Okay, same airflow. Here we go. Now, like I say, I didn't squonk, and I start to feel that it was slightly dry. So now, I give it that squonk. Here we go, push it back. The squonk works great in here. What I'm gonna do now, because I'm gonna pump up the watts, I also gonna open the airflow wide open. Let's go 65 watts. How much they recommend actually? Okay, they say 60 to 80. 65 watts. Oh my god, the flavor is unbelievable. So, it is a lot of airflow wide open, to be honest. A bit too much for me, but the flavor is pretty damn good. So let's pump it up straight away to 80 watts. They say you can do 80 watts. Let's do it. I'm not gonna squonk, okay? I'm gonna risk it. I think I have enough juice in there. Airflow wide open, 80 watts. I don't know if you can see that. Let's have it. Oh, the flavor! That is crazy. Obviously, it's mesh, so the ramp up is extremely quick. Let's squonk it. Make sure we have enough juice in there. Another 280 watts. You know what? It's too much flavor. Oh my god. This is almost ridiculous. It's almost like you have to point as a con. Yeah, it's too much flavor. That's a con. Whoa, that is crazy. So yeah, at this point, I don't know what else to tell you. It is a lot of flavor, smooth airflow, a lot of improvements. This is a hell of a RDA. A hell of the RDA that I didn't saw that coming. I thought it's gonna be very similar to the first one that is already very, very good. And this one maybe have a few improvements that make him a little bit better. But, whoa, look. I don't think so that in 2020 this year, an RDA with mesh, okay, because when you're talking about normal coils, obviously this one's going to have the advantage that the mesh provides a lot of flavor, but I think you can't get any better RDA. If you're looking for flavor, and even clouds, he give you clouds, don't take me wrong, but if you're looking for flavor, easy to build, you don't have those problems that, like I say, you don't have to cut it on an angle, it's still gonna work for you. This is the RDA to get this year. This is the best RDA you're gonna get, alright, over any other RDA out there. Flavor, construction, all the quality, everything you get. This thing is extremely, extremely good. I can't force this enough. Mr. Just Right done an amazing, amazing job here. And I really hope this RDA is the biggest success in 2020 because he deserves. This thing is just unbelievable. The flavor on this, I don't know how to explain it. You know, the only way I can explain is grab your favorite juice right now. Go get and grab it and drink the bottle. That's the flavor you're gonna get it from here. That's it. I don't have any other way to explain it. I can't hand it to you over the camera. But like I say, grab a bottle, drink it, And that's it. That's the flavor you're gonna get. This thing is just unbelievable. Definitely for all the RTAs I tried, Sobom tanks, this one is the king for flavor. Definitely. And very easy to use. So obviously I will definitely recommend this one. We're gonna wrap it up. Definitely grab one. I will leave the links on the description if you wanna grab one. I wish you all the best. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join my Patreon if you want to. Other than that, I wish you all the best and I hope to see you in the next video. Till there, keep vaping.